The cell door closed. He sat on the bunk. He looked at the walls. He had been in this space before. Not this exact cell, but this exact darkness. He was one of the most talented people of his generation. He had been celebrated since childhood. He had held the world in his hands. And piece by piece, choice by choice, he had let it fall. He was 43 years old. And the question that sat with him in that cell, in that silence, was the most important question of his life. Is it too late? Stay with me, because the answer is everything. Subscribe to this channel, because every Monday and Thursday we tell the stories that prove it is never too late to become who you were meant to be. Like this video, share it with someone who needs to hear that the story is not over. Let's continue. I'm Dr. TJ, a Harvard Fellowship trained surgeon and a distinguished Toastmaster. The highest honor in Toastmasters International, earned by less than 1% of members worldwide. And everything I am about to share with you comes from decades of real-world experience at the highest levels. He was born on April 4th, 1965 in Manhattan, New York. His father was a filmmaker. His childhood was unconventional, immersed in cinema, creativity, and the bohemian world of New York arts. And something else, his father gave him marijuana when he was 6 years old. 6 years old. He later said, "My dad and I used to get high together, and I thought it was cool." The seed was planted early. By his teens, he was acting professionally. By his 20s, he was one of the most celebrated young actors in Hollywood. Less Than Zero, Chaplin, Natural Born Killers. His performance in Chaplin earned him an Academy Award nomination at 27. The world was watching, the world was applauding, and underneath all of it, the addiction was growing. Through the 1990s, the arrests began. 1996, arrested for possession of heroin, cocaine, and an unloaded pistol. 1997, found wandering into a neighbor's house while under the influence. 1999, missed a court-ordered drug test and was sentenced to 3 years in California State Prison. He served 1 year. He was released. He relapsed. He was arrested again. The film roles dried up. The industry that had celebrated him abandoned him. Insurance companies refused to cover him on film sets. He was, by any professional measure, finished. He was 40 years old. He had burned through his talent, his relationships, his reputation, and his freedom. And then in 2003, something shifted. He married Susan Levin, a producer, a woman who believed against all evidence that the person she had fallen in love with was still in there. And he decided for the first time with total conviction to fight for his life. He threw himself into sobriety, martial arts, yoga, meditation. He rebuilt slowly, painfully, completely from the ground up. In 2008, he put on a suit of armor, Iron Man, the film that no major studio wanted to make, with an actor no insurance company wanted to cover. It grossed over $500 million worldwide. And Robert Downey Jr., the man Hollywood had written off, became the highest paid actor on the planet. Over the next decade, he reprised the role of Tony Stark 11 times. The Marvel Cinematic Universe, the most successful film franchise in history, was built in part on his performance. His name, as I mentioned, is Robert Downey Jr., the 6-year-old whose father gave him drugs. The young actor who threw away everything the world had given him. The man who sat in a prison cell at 40, asking if it was too late. It was not too late. It is never too late. He once said, "I think that you end up doing the stuff you were supposed to do at the time you were supposed to do it." His time, as it turned out, was just beginning. Here are 3 quotations from Robert Downey Jr. The first, "I think that you end up doing the stuff you were supposed to do at the time you were supposed to do it," end quote, Robert Downey Jr. I repeated it because that is important. The second one, "Worrying is like praying for what you don't want," end of quote, Robert Downey Jr. Third and final quote, "I've always felt that if I examine things too hard, I'll find nothing there. So I'd rather just use them than analyze them," end quote, Robert Downey Jr. Robert Downey Jr. sat in a prison cell at 40 years old. He had lost everything. He rebuilt everything and became the most successful actor of his generation. Here is your challenge today. Write down the thing you believe you have left too late, the career you think has passed you by, the relationship you think you have damaged beyond repair, the version of yourself you think you have forfeited. Write it down and then write this beneath it. Robert Downey Jr. was 40 when he decided to fight, and he had 40 more years ahead of him. Is it too late? Or did someone just convince you it was? It is not too late. It is not. Share this with someone who thinks their best years are behind them. Robert Downey Jr.'s story is the answer to that thought. Like, subscribe, hit the bell, and come back Thursday for the story of a man born into chains who became the greatest teacher of freedom who ever lived. Before I go, don't forget to subscribe, for it costs you nothing and it helps the channel so we can get this message of life transformation to more people around the globe.
You are unstoppable.